This week, I watched definitely a good movie, Rain Man. So let me start by saying that I did enjoy this movie. I think it does belong in the 501 must-see movies. Dustin Hoffman does a great job with his character acting. It even mentions it in the book how impressed they are with Dustin Hoffman's acting, and he won the Oscar for this film. There are a lot of great things to be said about this film. The chemistry between the two lead actors is great. Before watching this movie, I didn't really know what it was about. I knew about the scene where they go to Vegas and win all the money on blackjack because Dustin Hoffman can count cards. And everyone has seen the iconic scene where they're coming down the escalator in the suits. But I didn't realize how much more was happening with the story and how deep it really went. So I was really surprised. It was halfway through the movie and they hadn't even talked about Vegas or counting cards. And I was like, oh, I guess it's not really about going to Vegas and counting cards. So right from the start, I love the opening song, the Aiko Aiko Ane song. I think it's so great, it's so fun. You see this character of Tom Cruise, you see kind of how shystery he is, how he's wheeling and dealing, and then you find out that his dad dies, and you're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. And you find out that he hasn't talked to his dad in several years, and it's like, ooh, what's going on here? And I really don't know whose side I was on, if I was on the dad side or Tom Cruise's side, because he was kind of an asshole. This was not a good color on Tom Cruise. This is from 1988, so it's one of his earlier roles. And I generally really like Tom Cruise, especially in his action movies. I think he runs like a gazelle. I think he's great. I hated this character though. He made me so angry. If you have not seen this movie in a long time, I challenge you to go back and watch it. Tom Cruise tells almost every single character to shut up. He said he uses the R word, and I totally understand. It's a time. There's a lot of things, a lot of dialogue in the late 80s, early 90s that were acceptable then that wouldn't be acceptable now. And I take it with a grain of salt.
Can we also take a minute to talk about this female character? She's dating Tom Cruise's character, and she is being used. He is super toxic. He's super mean to her. He belittles her. He's emotionally unavailable. He doesn't open up to her. He doesn't treat her as an equal. I was so proud of her when she walked out of that hotel room. I didn't think she was gonna do it. And I was so happy. I'm like, yes, she's found out that he's lying to her. They did kidnap Dustin Hoffman. She's seeing that he's a toxic person. She's standing up for herself and she's leaving. And I was so proud. And I know people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but I was so disappointed when she came back. When she showed up in Vegas, I was like, what are you doing? You were so powerful. You left him and then you came back. So angry. Why did you do that? Again, can't stress enough how much of a terrible person this character is. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie. I was so happy to watch it. I really enjoyed the fact that I didn't like the main character and I was kind of rooting against him the whole time. And I really felt I wanted to protect Dustin Hoffman so much. I really was invested in how much I liked Dustin Hoffman's character. And I challenge you, if you haven't seen this movie in a while, to go back and rewatch it and let me know what you think of it, because the movie hasn't changed, but I bet that your perspective has changed. And I want to hear what you think about the movie rewatching it nowadays. And if you want to watch more of my reviews, then click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell.